Alright guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you two amazing games where I actually destroyed my opponent with the Scotch Gambit. First, the game starts with e4 and my opponent goes e5. Then I develop my knight hitting this pawn and my opponent developed theirs to protect the pawn. Then I strike in the center of the board and they capture, which is actually the best move. And we can capture this way and go into the Scotch game, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in playing a gambit, and this is called the Scotch Gambit. My opponent gives this check, which is the best move in the position. I block the check with my pawn. They capture this way, and instead of recapturing this way, I decided to capture this way because there is a lot of tricks and trap in this line, and that's why I love going for it. And in this position, the best move for my opponent is to simply go this way. My opponent found the best move by going bishop to a5. Going here or here is just a beautiful mistake, and I have a video covering what you should do in that line. So in this position, I decided to castle, and my opponent, being concerned about this pawn push, decided to develop their knight. Yeah, my opponent was thinking, if I push my pawn here, this guy is going to kick me away, and I don't want to get kicked away. And my opponent decided to play this move, and I developed my knight. I'm piling up on this pawn, threatening all kinds of capture here. And my opponent just think for a few seconds and say, what? I can easily just castle and solve my problem with one move. And my opponent is immediately castled, saying, okay, now my king is safe and I'm also protecting this pawn. But that is just an illusion because king is anything but safe. As I bring my queen into the party, I'm threatening to go here, checkmate, and I'm also adding another attacker here. And the best move for my opponent is simply to play this move, trying to say, okay, you are not going to deliver this checkmate. I captured here, and the best move for my opponent is simply to capture here. And kudos to my opponent for finding the best move. But regardless of what my opponent plays in this position, my opponent is in serious trouble. I capture here with check. My opponent decided to play this move, and that was just the final mistake. As I strike with this brilliant bishop sacrifice. The idea behind this move is that if you capture here, this is just a beautiful checkmate. So my opponent cannot capture there. And my opponent yet again found the best move, but they are completely lost regardless of what they play. I capture here and I'm just setting up all kinds of checkmates with these pieces very close to the king. So my opponent decided to capture here, which is the best move. I give this check. The king steps forward. I give a check here, trying to force the king away from the defense of this knight. The king goes here. Then I capture here, and the rest was history as I easily went on to win the game. In the second game, after the stoning knight to g5, my 2000 rated opponent simply just castles, going for king safety, but that king safety is just an illusion. As I bring my queen into the party, guys, you know the drill. And what can my opponent do here? Because I'm threatening checkmate here, but this move is forced. My opponent plays it, then I capture here, hitting the queen, and my opponent still captures here, which is still the best move. I capture here again, hitting the king, and in this position, in the previous game, my opponent decided to play this move, but in this position, my opponent goes here, and I simply retreat my bishop back, and I'm threatening checkmate here. And I think the best move for my opponent is simply to give up their knight this way, and I just capture the knight, and I'm chilling. But in this game, my opponent decided to play this move, and immediately resigned because this move is just a beautiful checkmate. Guys, I have a video covering the bishop to b4 variation of the Scotch Gambit. You can check my channel out to see the full video, and thanks for watching, and I hope you keep finding good moves in your games. And with that, I'm out.